Shuffling madness of locomotive breath runs the all-time loser headlong to his death. Oh, it feels the piston scraping, steam breaking on his brow. Old Charlie stole the handle, and the train it won't stop going. No, it took slow down. His children jumping off the stations one by one.
What are you eating, bud?
Oh, just good food.
Is that okay?
Announce yourself.
No one died?
Huh?
No one died?
Not yet.
This is a video.
Oh, he's
Please explain who you are.
I have no idea.
Wow.
I'm Jerry, K9GAS.
And, let's see. Oh, yeah, KC8ZUL. Jerry, but the G, he's got a jet. I hear him count. Jeez, our words.
And this is KB3RHR. We were working on my little transmitters in the big transmitter room.
Yeah.
Right there.
You want to steer someone? Hello there. KC8ZUL Central Hoo-Ha. Is anyone there?
No.
Did you move your antique equipment? You have to change knobs.
I don't
Hello, this is KC8ZUL.
I don't understand how you're moving the transmitter frequency.
This is a remote screen.
Oh,
via phone back.
yeah. You're just using what, ham radio deluxe? Or is that okay?
Yeah.
So there's a Collins Decker knob on the front, but it's highly sophisticated there, Jerry. Highly sophisticated. A whole lot of 1.5 and 0.5s rolling around in there. Go ahead.
Well, the gang's all here. Yeah, my vision is the fine phenolic knob. It's got a pair of vice grips clamped to it, and you got a honk on it like a mother. I'll let these guys say hi. Here, sit, operate.
Hey,
That's the speaky end.
oh, is this the one you're talking to?
Yeah.
Hey, Robert, this is KB3RHR at KC8ZUL.
Hi!
No, here, hold this on me.
Oh.
First, let me tell you that I'm overwhelmed. I will never reach the achievement level that Jerry has made here in this fine facility. Also, my transmitter has channel locks on it now.
Yes. We advanced the design.
Yes, we did. We improved on the design. Actually, we did see some sparky-arky happen with the Viking too.
No grid current.
But we have no grid. We have no grid current.
No oscillator, no grid.
No oscillator and no grid, my technician says to me. So, but it's awesome to sit here, and I do feel, I remember your video the last time you were with him, and I do feel the power.
You can feel the power.
I mean, when there's blue lenses over top of covers to make sure that no x-rays get out and fry your, cojones, that's real transmitters.
Yes.
And what I run is little kid stuff. So good to hear you, Robert, and you sound well here on 7295.
Let's see if I got it here. W0VMC, K9GAS, the gas man. I was sitting over there on the other side of this 50-foot room in the chair,
I just know
drinking
you
a
got one.
Diet Pepsi when they called me. So, my knees are weak and my back hurts, but I made it. Now you hear me, Robert. Now you can hear me on the professional audio. Got my little cheap junk cut. Over to you.
Oh, it's got a little different twang to it. Send it to you just for your personal edification. Yes, indeed. KC8ZUL was a guest, W0 voice mod there. It all sounded quite nice, you guys. Band has been stronger, but strong I've been in that shop, not this particular shop, but at the old APL labs, and you get in there late at night, and the aura would come over the room, and you know, be me, myself, and all the electronic gremlins and all the other powers that be that hang around those big transmitters, you know. Yeah, I tell you, it is fascinating. And I do like the way you sound there, Craig. Now, Jerry will tell you, Gas Hill will tell you about that 10-step program that you better entertain before you're on that slippery slope, and the next thing you know, you'll be bumping your head on one of those old big transmitters.
You're gonna buy a Ford.
And I do like the way you sound. No doubt about it. Yeah. Well, as to be expected. There's no doubt. And the channel locks, well, you know, Jerry, it's good to see you, you know, bounce from 40, and it's 75 every now and then. But at the Radio Ranch and all the capabilities there, the towers and great, multiple VFOs, I think you're still using those icons. There should be plenty of frequency hopping coming out of that Radio Ranch. So, Gas Man, I hope you bought a little WD with you. You know, squirt it right there on that quarter-inch shaft there where that VFO is, and then get the vice grips. So the Viking 2 is a little shy of grid current, oscillator current.
Here comes the advice.
Yeah. Well, you know the fix for that there, Gas.
I'm waiting for it.
You know, it's going to excite everything, for sure. To solve all those little problems. So let me get it on back over to the ranch there. Now, Jerry, did you feed them good yet? I think you might be a little far for our old pizza place there, but I'm sure you got a couple little hot spots
I just felt Robert.
that they're going to eat real well. Sure wish I could join you.
Potato chips.
KC8ZUL in the bunch. W0 voice my carrier. You know where.
Yeah, I'm still sitting here. I'll set it over here to ZUL, but
No, you're doing so well.
I was waiting for the fix to come out.
Yeah, it was the extension.
Yeah, what is the
Right.
fix?
Yeah, we're perplexed.
Still waiting on the fix.
The tubes are okay.
Oh, yeah, Jerry's giving us the gold treatment here, man. I'm telling you, it's sweet. But, you know, I'm looking at
And we have the tube tester. So naturally, it must be a tube. We test the tubes. Took an hour to figure out how a tube tester works on a 6AQ5 or something. And we got spares, right? So we did all that. And then something happens while I am not in range. And giant sparks come out of the tank section. And then all of a sudden, we're hunting for a 10 amp fuse. But no, it is not a 10 amp fuse. Because someone has jammed a 10 amp fuse in a place where there should be a 5 amp fuse. That was Tech Track 2. Now, I understand one of these radio amateurs in this very room made a modification to the audio. There is a transformer in there and some diodes that don't belong in this rig. They have been installed. I don't think that's a problem because they're here and they're threatening looking. Both of them are fairly threatening looking guys. So I don't think it was their modification. And you know, I did my homework. I actually printed out the manual. Oh, they didn't bring a manual.
We got a manual.
Okay.
It's not as organized as your manual.
Mine was actually had the pages in sequence.
That's correct.
Mine's in the binder, it's in the truck.
Oh, beautiful.
A lot of good it's doing in the truck, Jerry.
Right, after. And as we all know, Robert, you know, the schematics that came, the manual that came with the transmitter is the best one because usually a guy that had it circles some part and writes the word poof next to it. You know, you've had trouble in this section before, but we didn't have that. So we hunt high and low for a 10 amp fuse. We find one, and I'm reading the book. I actually read the book, and it says the fuse is 5 amp. Well, we find one of those in 2 seconds. Got plenty of those 10 amp fuses. You know, who has those? So, anyway, there's a 12 amp. There's 12 amp.
12
fuse.
amp, yes.
Microwave fuse in there.
Yeah, 12 amp is an odd fuse. You know, at any rate, we get the right fuse, we turn it back on, and it doesn't go poof anymore. And
That's a slow blow microwave fuse.
right, and from at that point, I think, from what I can tell, they're afraid to touch a damn thing, and I'm not going in there. I get a hot stick, but I'm not going in there. I don't know
Right.
Viking. They're Jungstons, I understand. It is a beautifully made rig, by the way, which is impossible to touch any part in, unlike the broadcast rigs. So after that, I think Jerry decided he would just check 2 voltages that were low voltages, fearing electrocution. And we can't get the meter to do the right thing. And after reading the manual, my standard comment came to mind, could you be more vague? I'm looking just for the fuse. And on the drawing, it marks the fuse holder as X12. And that's a weird name for a fuse holder. So I went down in the book. There is no X12 in the parts list. That is apparently the part number for the fuse holder. So sequentially searching 3 pages, I find the fuse and what it is. So, I don't know. And then everyone looked kind of deflated because they've been at it for a solid 30 minutes. And, they get limits.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
30's mine.
We're union. We're union.
Now, I came in with a good suggestion. There's another man in Indianapolis that thrives on this shit. And I lose my time?
That's
Okay.
borderline.
Borderline. So at any rate, I suggested that this package of electronic modern art, it's modern art if it doesn't work. If it works, it's a radio. Be packed up and shipped back to Indianapolis to a very patient former broadcast engineer. And if you give it to him, Jerry, and he says, why did you bring me this? Don't tell him I suggested. I don't want to lose a buddy over this,
I'm gonna tell him it's all your fault.
No, here we go. Well, we'll send him off with a basket of spare tubes, about 100 5-amp fuses,
And all the wishes in the world.
and a pair of vice grips. So, that's our plan. Is that our plan?
Yeah, what's the vice grip for?
If we're reaching into the high voltage section, we can't get the meter probe on there.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we cover it? I mean,
Yeah, I'm good now, yeah.
apparently with the VFO, which is frightening looking, or the crystals, it doesn't make any grid drive. Oscillator tube's fine. And I think, when you got 3 guys working on something, that confusion alone, we'll make any result random,
I wasn't sure we was working on it, weren't talking about it.
I think we're probably talking about it and,
We were more chatting about it than actually working on it.
right. And as usual, as you go through the transmitter, everyone has a suggestion. Whoever is in charge is no longer in charge, and then none of these suggestions are actually followed up on. So,
And then you're not sure if the power's on or off when you stick your hands in.
right at one point, I asked, is the panel light, is that supposed to go on? Was it lighting? And nobody can remember if it's turned on. If the power light, that's when the fuse blew. And one guy swore that the panel light used to come on, and sure enough, so.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna stick my hand there. Last time I did that, I got shot.
But, right, and
I was gonna let you guys figure that one out.
so that's the state of it. We also found the convenient line cord, which is a lamp cord, 2-prong. Down by where it comes in, there's a ground wire which has been snipped off. It's mounted to the chassis. It goes nowhere. I suspect it at one point had a grounded line cord.
That's just ground stray RF.
Okay, yeah.
It's like an antenna.
To me, antenna, yeah.
So we're having fun with that. Then we put that aside and started working on a Globe Chump, or what was that thing?
Globe Scout 40.
Globe
Hey.
Scout. And that thing's got connectors on it that aren't in the manual. There are no pictures of the front panel, no pictures of the rear panel.
And that manual is more vague than the Viking.
And that manual is like more vague than the Viking manual.
We
All right.
got 10 watts of it though.
It made 10 watts. We couldn't get anything out of the other box, so. I don't know. Maybe you could put them both in like a garbage disposal and pour the parts out the bottom, glue them together.
That dumpster file out there.
There is a huge dumpster here on site. All right, we rattled on along enough. Unless you have any sage wisdom. I mean, you check the crystal socket.
Look good, yeah.
You try a couple different crystals because one could be open. You change the oscillator tube. The voltages look like they're there, but she makes no grid drive. So,
No, not on VFO or crystals.
not on VF or crystal. VF looks truly frightening. Okay. W0. Yeah, that's such a. I got a buzzer award there. See the old buzzer.
I know, you're doing well.
Yeah. W0VMC. Come near the transmitter switch. Wake up. KC8ZUL. And the group.